there, friends. I am here today with my friend Bentley, who is a 4-year-old Hanoverian gelding. He's been here with me since August, and as you can see, looking around behind me, we got some snow last night. So it's not a lot of snow, it's just a little bit of snow. Not too much cleanup to do, so it's not terrible. However, it did inspire me to talk to you today about response training as opposed to desensitizing. What I want to teach you today is some techniques that you can do to help your horse learn to control their body when something upsets them, as opposed to them relying on their instinctual fight or flight reaction to something that scares them. So desensitizing a horse would be good technique for somebody who wanted to have a horse as a mascot or a parade horse, something like that. But if you have performance horses, you want to really think about response training, which teaches them to be responsive so that we're not losing the good responses when we ask them to go, that they go right away, when we ask them to whoa, that they stop right away. But also we want to teach them to control their bodies in a scary situation so that they're not running away from it and they're not spooking. I know some of us have more tolerance for spooking than others, but I think all of us would agree we prefer a horse that has as little spook as possible. So we can do some techniques, use some techniques to teach our horse to be a little less spooky. So I hope that you'll enjoy this video. And I'm going to take my friend Bentley out, bring him to the cross eyes, get him cleaned up, and then we're going to bring him in the indoor and see how his response training is going. All right, thanks for watching. Okay, the two places in the horse's neck that they carry a lot of tension is in the base of the neck and in the poll. So what we want to do is to teach our horses to relax their neck, put their neck down so that the tension gets out of their neck, as well as their heart rate decreases. So if they can learn that if they put their head down and keep it down, their heart rate goes down and they feel better. So the idea of response training is to add a little bit of pressure onto your horse. This is physical pressure where I'm just pressing on the base of his neck. And what I want him to learn is that when I press on the base of his neck, that he'll put his head down. You can see that Bentley is not really cooperating with this at this point. He was perfect during practice. As soon as I turned the camera on, he was already so relaxed. He's just more interested in what I've got on the ground and what I've got in my pocket. But again, the idea is teach your horse to put their head down with a little bit of downward pressure on the rope first. Then you can add a little bit of pressure on the base of their neck or their poll and teach them that when you do that, you want them to drop their head and neck down. And then as well, you can start adding some noises, things that touch them and things that are moving around them. So here I'm demonstrating adding noise with my hand clappers. I want Bentley to relax when the sound of the hand clappers comes. So here he moved into me, which isn't a bad response. He just thought I wanted him to come towards him because I put pressure on. But there I'm reminding him that I want him to put his head down and keep it down. Okay, so you see Bentley has made it safely back to his paddock after a short little training session. So that was just the beginnings of response training that you saw in that video. And I'd like to point out that after we filmed that, the snow did start falling off the roof, and Bentley's initial reaction was to try to run away, but I reminded him that he needs to just put his head down and relax. And after a couple more snowfalls, all he did was just like a little standstill sort of spook, and then he on his own put his head down and relaxed, and he was actually really good, and we were able to continue on to do some groundwork patterns. So what I'd like to suggest to you, if you have not started your response training yet, please do it on a day that is not a scary day, that there isn't any snow falling off the roof, that it's a nice quiet day, the temperatures are a little bit warmer, and that you're not expecting any environmental disturbances to happen to you like snow falling off the roof, so that your horse can be nice and relaxed and they can learn the response that you're trying to teach them. And then you're just going to slowly start introducing things like the hand clappers, the flag, touching them with plastic bag, so that they can really learn the right response so that when you do have something that you can't control, like snow falling off the roof, you can remind your horse to relax and that it feels better to be in a relaxed state as opposed to running away. And then they can start to listen and pay attention to you. So in a couple of weeks, I'm going to do a little bit of a follow-up video on this to show you how the response training progresses and give you some groundwork patterns that you can work on that will also help you teach your horse to stay relaxed when you're in an upsetting situation. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button. Next week, I'm going to come to you with another riding video, and then the week after that, we'll follow up on this one. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next week.